Greetings, pirates. It's calendar week 34. It's the start of the Collapse Laboratory. Today's newsletter: being useful is not the same as reaching a destination. Today is the first day of the Collapse Laboratory. I went to bed last night, as I do on Sundays, thinking about what I'm going to write today in this newsletter. I thought it might be interesting to more or less rehearse my opening words to the lab attendees. And sitting here this morning, fingers ready to do their keyboard interacting thing, I don't have a clue what I'm going to say to either you, dear reader, or my IRL guests. And welcome back. I've just been down a cup of tea infused rabbit hole of what part of the brain is responsible for creative writing. Apparently it's Broca's area, named after Pierre Paul Broca in 1861. The hippocampus decides what story is going to be told, but this little smudged tangle of nerve cells just down and to the left, in the left hemisphere, is the place where the magic happens. The idea for the Collapse Laboratory happened when I realised that for a whole year no journalist who ever came to interview me asked with that southeasterly facing grin, "But what if you were wrong?" This has always been the wrong question to ask. It implies that what I'm doing here is saving myself, or being a weird hippie, or living out some good life fantasy. Yeah, okay, so none of these are totally wrong, but the barracks exists because it seemed to me to be essential. It needed to exist, and I was in a position to bring it to life. It is a political comment on, an avant-garde statement about, a physical manifestation of the state of the world, the inevitability of collapse. It is a desire to be useful. Simply being reactionary is not useful. T-shirt sloganeering writ on the canvas of a human and 3 piggies. But in the first few years it was good enough. Until the slightly mocking, slightly amazed journalists start nodding their heads and saying, perhaps. And so the Collapse Laboratory emerged. Usefulness. Being useful does not have to result in an end project. The journey is the useful thing. So in attempting to answer our 2 fundamental questions, is there anything we can do to lessen the amount of time humans spend in collapse? Is there anything we can do to help with the rebuilding effort once society reclaims itself? We do not expect answers. But trying, guided by love, we're going to give it a damn good journey. Pirate gardening tip of the week. Keep the ground covered. Everyone knows this these days, but in the absence of much gardening talk this week, coupled with the lack of a what am I doing this week section, I thought I'd combine them here. This week, I'm mostly going to be turning over the soil where the potatoes and the wheat were, and resowing with lucerne, alfalfa, medico sativa as a ground cover / green manure. Old man gardening has always done this. You should do it too. And now I have to go and bake breakfast bread. Be lovely to each other. Your Pirate Ben. XO. XO.